Well, moving on now, Wednesdays here on the program, we like to put the spotlight on the farm women's group, Common Ground.
Common Ground is a group of farm women who want to be a resource for consumers who want to know more about how their food is grown. In this segment, we hear from Common Ground volunteer Anita Keys from Ellesmere about upcycling.
We are learning more about how cattle are good upcyclers. And joining me now with more on this is Anita Keys from Ellesmere. Anita, it's good to see you again.
Yes, good to be here. And I'm kind of excited to talk about this. I learned a lot about it when I was researching this, but upcycling. And so we're all familiar with the reduce, reuse, recycle, and all that. That was so popular a while ago. And anyway, now upcycling is becoming the in thing thanks to Pinterest and all the do-it-yourself programs, those sorts of things. And what upcycling, and I have a definition, it is the process of reusing old or discarded materials and turning them into a product of higher value or quality. And cattle are wonderful at this because 90% of what they consume cannot be consumed by humans. Obviously, we do not digest grass very well, or many of the things that cattle eat. So they are taking the lower quality protein of a plant and converting it into an animal protein, which is a higher quality and more easily digestible by humans. So rangeland, and we have that especially out here in the sandhills, lots of rangeland. In fact, Nebraska has 23 million acres of rangeland, and the U.S. has 600 million acres. Some of the examples around here that we use, one is distiller's grain, and that's a byproduct of the ethanol industry, very, very popular here in Nebraska. We use what we call DDG, dry distiller's grain, and that comes in those cake format. The larger ones we feed to the cows, the smaller ones we feed to the calves. So that's one product. And then there's all kinds of things. Citrus pulp, if you lived in Florida, that'd be handy dandy. Sugar beet pulp, the people in western Nebraska can use that. Cottonseed, and we don't raise cotton around here at all, but there's cottonseed in these small pellets, and that's what we're feeding our calves right now is these small pellets. We mix it up with some ground corn, and that's high in protein and fat, so good for the cattle. And in Nebraska, crop residue, so putting cattle out on corn stalks, and a lot of times even driving down the interstate, I bet you see cattle that are out in the corn stalks, and they're eating up the residue that we don't eat and no one else is eating. It's good for us, it's good for the soil, it's just good win-win all the way around. So I've shared with you a lot of different things that cattle can do to upcycle. My resources were Dr. Carla Wilkie kind of gave me this idea. She's a UNL professor, and I went to one of her workshops. And then the Beef Council, I also reached out to them.
Okay, very good, Anita. And you are going to share a recipe with us here in a few minutes.
Right. Hamburger taco cheese dip is coming up.
Thank you, Anita. We'll see you in a few minutes.